Sanctuary cities are magnets. They are part of the perverse incentives that are drawing illegal immigrants into this country. In fact, their mere existence is illegal under U.S. law. Title 8, Section 1324, the United States Code prohibits the harboring of illegal aliens, making such acts a felony, punishable by imprisonment up to 5 years. Mr. Speaker, you get what you tolerate, and we've tolerated this recklessness for way too long. Sanctuary cities must be stopped. This legislation would prohibit federal dollars from funding public services for illegal aliens in sanctuary cities, and I urge all my colleagues to do the right thing, uphold the rule of law, and protect the American people. And I urge them to vote for 5717, and I yield back.
But let me be loud and clear. Immigrants make our communities stronger and more vibrant every single day. And Americans can see through these tactics. Instead of recognizing the beauty of our diverse communities and working to serve them, Republicans are putting forth a bill that would actually strip billions in federal funding from their own communities, and even from entire states, including my home state of New York. This bill is so broadly written that it could endanger federal funding for school lunches, public schools, hospitals, public transportation, roads and bridges, police equipment, emergency response, and much more. These are the institutions that keep us safe, healthy, and able to thrive. But Republicans will throw it all away. For what? For hate, for fear-mongering, and for their own power.
Mr. McClintock, there are fewer things more despairing than having to pass laws to enforce laws because our chief law enforcement officer and commander-in-chief has fallen down on the job. If President Biden and Vice President Harris don't respect the laws of our land, I don't suspect other people will either. I rise in support of H.R. 5717, the No Bailout for Sanctuary Cities Act. Sanctuary cities are a scourge to our country's law and order, to a civil society whose sacred duty is to provide for a common defense, promote domestic tranquility, and enforce the laws of the land. As John Adams once said, this is a government of laws, not of men. And when we depart from that central tenet of this republic, we are diminished as a people, and we are weaker as a nation.
Mr. Chair, I rise in opposition to H.R. 5717. This bill is deeply absurd and completely transparent attempt to fearmonger and continue stoking hatred of immigrants of our communities. Our job in Congress is to serve our communities, not destroy them, just to score cheap political points that are completely unfounded in reality. For this reason, at the appropriate time, I will offer a motion to recommit this bill back to committee. If the House rules permitted, I would have offered the motion with an important amendment to this bill. My amendment would restore desperately needed Title I funding for our public schools. I'm a lifelong educator. I was a teacher, counselor, and middle school principal before coming to Congress. And I've watched as Republicans try to come for public schools. In the FY25 budget, they proposed to cut Title I funding by 25%. In fact, Project 2025 wants to cut Title I funding for schools completely. Think about what that would mean for our kids. That means 108,000 teachers
Speaker,
gone.
I yield the gentleman an additional minute.
Thank you.
Gentleman is recognized.
Funding that improves academic achievement, provides high-quality learning opportunities, enables extracurricular activities and co-curricular activities and supplemental services, all decimated. Schools are the backbone of our communities and the lifeblood of our democracy. Increasing Title I means more quality educators, more school-based programs to nurture students, smaller class sizes, and better student outcomes. So my amendment would do just that, because it's far past time that we prioritize our kids, and our communities deserve a bill that will actually meet their needs, not one that completely abandons them. At the end of the debate, I will insert into the record the text of this amendment. I hope my colleagues will join me in voting for the motion to recommit. I yield back.